Hello everyone and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Thursday, August 10th, 2017. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
So please remember everyone that you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live on Facebook Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time. That's 7 p.m. on the... What?
Is our live video interrupted? Mine says it is. There it goes.
Oh, it's
finally.
like, mine's going fine. That is 7 p.m. on the west coast and 10 p.m. on the east coast. Quick also to anyone that is watching this live or does watch the video feed, whether it is on Facebook or on YouTube, I would like to also give a quick apology to the episode yesterday that was cut short, episode 330 that was aired on August 9th. The video cuts off a bit early. The podcast, the downloadable audio file, I did put a capped ending onto it. But basically... my internet just said, fuck you, we're done, goodbye, have a good day. We don't even care if you have a good day, just get the fuck off. And it took about 20 minutes before it actually came back up because GCI sucks. So apologies for yesterday. That is not anything that anybody can control. It's not an equipment issue. It's just purely our internet service provider up here in Alaska blows balls.
It's been balls for decades.
It's been balls basically since it existed.
Yeah.
Which I'm so sad that we didn't get the vote or whatever for Google Fiber.
I know, it's so fucking dumb.
Instead, they went with some random city in like Arizona or something, and I'm like, damn it!
Arizona's already got decent stuff, right?
I don't know. I mean...
Probably better than us.
Humans are selfish. I don't know. They probably have like Cox or Comcast. Either way, it's probably not...
I would hope they have Cox.
You son of a bitch.
It's a pie!
But humans are selfish, and in this case, I'm being selfish because I want the best internet possible.
I mean, that's understandable.
And, like, I have the best internet possible through our provider. It's just still not the best.
No, it's complete trash.
Yeah. It's good-ish is how I would describe it.
It's good enough.
Sure. Is it even good enough? I feel like it's good-ish.
I wouldn't say it's good enough, actually.
That's why I said good-ish.
Yeah.
It's decent-ish.
Yeah.
It's above absolute shit. It's not crap. It's not terrible. It's just, it serves its purpose.
Yeah, I guess. It lets us actually access the internet.
Well, and also, I mean...
That puts us above North Korea.
Yeah, sure. And we have access to high enough speeds in order to do things like streaming and high-end gaming and all that good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho...
At least decently. I mean, we get some lag. Let's be real. A lot of our games will play at like 130, 140.
It depends on the game and how good the server is in general, also how close the server is. I mean, especially because most of the time we're connecting to a server in Seattle. But, I mean, for the most part, like, yeah, our ping, our lag is normally between 90 to 130 milliseconds, which is playable. Like,
yeah,
I mean...
it's definitely playable.
Like, I can definitely be as competitive as I want in a game, and including being very competitive in a game and not feeling like my connection is screwing me. Now, do I wish it was like 6 seconds? Yeah, of course I did, but...
Well, once you live with the lag.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, I was working and living on like 400 ping, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this happen, and I did, and I still kicked ass. So when people complain about like 100 ping, I'm like, you don't even know the pain. You don't even know. Also, 100 ping in general is not that bad.
No, 100 ping is not bad whatsoever.
Anywho, shall we do some news?
Yeah.
Shall we do the news, man? That news stuff. YouTube adds mobile chat. You know, because Google didn't already have enough messaging apps.
This was submitted by Blurrism to our Android.
So basically, yeah, YouTube is going to have it's going to be embedded in the current YouTube app. It's not going to be a separate app. It's going to be part of the YouTube app on your phone, and it's going to be a messenger service for you to share videos with and communicate with your contacts.
Okay,
and
sure.
Like,
I never really thought of YouTube as that much of a social media thing, but apparently it is. All these vloggers, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing: is that like
I guess I don't go to the other side of YouTube.
Well, and people criticize all the different messenger apps, right? But I also see them in normally like different circles. you know, like Facebook Messenger is like for communicating with people on Facebook. You have Google Hangouts for if you want a good messaging service that isn't Facebook. Also, like if you do use Google Plus, which a surprising number of people do, it's a good messaging service that connects to your Google Plus. And so like I could see that with YouTube. The only difference is like you don't really have a friends list with YouTube. So I'm not sure under what circumstances you're able to connect with other people realistically, unless you're just like communicating with like your
maybe people you're subscribed to,
maybe, or like your Google contacts, but the article doesn't say. And like if it is people you're subscribed to and or that are subscribed to you, that makes sense. In which then it does create that circle of what's going on in YouTube, but I'm not sure how much people pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially, and it would also depend, I guess, on what size your YouTube following is. But again, we're talking about that from a creator standpoint. Purely from a viewer standpoint, establishing the communication contact lines is even different.
Yeah, no. I don't know if many people are going to be using the YouTube mobile chat. I feel like it's just going to die out.
Well, and also, I mean, if you wanted to share videos on YouTube from YouTube, I mean, it already has that option.
Yeah, you just click it and
it's like,
choose which one.
Do you want to share it on Facebook or Twitter or Vimeo, or do you want to send it in a message, or what do you want to do? You have all of these options.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, either way, I mean, it won't hurt anything for it to exist, but I'm not necessarily certain that it needs to exist either. Like, there's not a large benefit being gained from this.
There's almost no point, really. I mean, there's enough messaging services that YouTube links to anyways.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there are people that are like, you know, against using Facebook and against using other services. So, I mean, it does give them a...
You can still... No, because you can still link it to regular messages.
Sure. But I think the idea here is, though, is that if it's a messenger service that's inside YouTube, if you link it through the YouTube messenger, then, like, they could probably play it in the chat there rather than needing to open it up.
Sure. I suppose so. But I don't know. I just think it's really fucking silly, and I almost feel like there's no reason to it. They have to really add some fucking innovation to it for it to actually be worth a damn.
Well, and I mean, here's a feature that would be cool, is if you could have a discussion, a live discussion, while the group is simultaneously watching the video. That would be cool.
Then it would just be like live streaming.
Yes, but it wouldn't be live streaming. Like, imagine if you could take, like, you know, the video from like the 2016 Women's Flat Track Derby Association's World Championships, right? And like that is old. That happened over a year ago. Now imagine being able to sit down and watch that and have
live chat with people while you're doing it. Yes, I understand.
And have it, but also have it going at the same time as everybody, instead of having to do the, okay, we're gonna click play on, you know, on 3, ready, 1, 2, 3, click. Right.
I know. I understand.
So I mean,
I just think I don't know. I just think it's still really fucking silly.
Maybe, I don't know.
I really don't understand the point of it, honestly. But whatever.
Kirk in the chat room asks, I don't normally pay attention, but do you normally wear a suit? Addressing me because I'm currently in a suit. So on the show, no. Normally, I have already gotten home and I have changed my clothes. I do wear a suit very often. I wear a suit every single day for work, except for Friday, which are casual Fridays. The majority of social events I go to, I wear a suit for. And then any time that I do any type of vocal or announcing work, I'm also wearing a suit. So like anytime I announce a derby game or anything like that, I'm wearing a suit. In this case, though, after work, I had to go pick up the kiddo because the kiddo is back from her vacation in Texas with her grandparents. And with us moving the show now to a 6 p.m. start time, I get off work at 5, have to go pick her up and get home. And with the way that traffic works out, I got home at about 5:45, and so I had 15 minutes to get started. And like I wanted to eat some food, so I scarfed down some hot dogs and got a couple things ready. Like I made the thumbnail for the YouTube and got all of the fucking programs and shit loaded so that we could do the show, and then it was time to do the show. So I mean, there was no time in there to change. So I will probably end up being in a suit at least 2 times a week moving forward now, because I pick her up on Tuesdays and Thursdays almost guaranteed, and sometimes on Wednesdays. So
now it'd be more impressive if you walked in a suit of armor.
Yes,
I want full chainmail, full plate. I will be your squire if you have to.
All right, help me get in and out of the stuff.
Yeah.
That would.
However, I'm not polishing that for you.
That's fine. That's fine. Whatever. I mean, in today's day and age, I mean, it wouldn't nearly be as much of an issue. I mean, you normally need to clean and polish the armor so that, you know, the blood is taken off of it so it doesn't rust as quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you'd just be called Rusty, like Steiner.
Yeah, exactly. Rusty. Yep.
That's my favorite part of that fucking game.
4 Earth-sized planets detected orbiting near the nearest sun-like star.
Yeah, this was submitted by Rajha 11 to our World News.
I just wanted to hit the air horns.
Can I get off this damn planet now?
Not quite, but it does look as though there might be an opportunity for you to do so. So as we are evolving our technology in order to detect interplanetary objects, the nearest by sun-like star, which is called Tau Ceti, it is approximately 12 light years away, and you can see it with the naked eye. Due to our more recently updated equipment, we are able to discern that there are 4 Earth-sized planets orbiting it, 2 of which are in the habitable zone, which means that liquid water could exist on those planets, so it is a potential option.
Can we get anything out there?
We got to get to Mars first. I mean, unless a major breakthrough in space travel like happens.
Well, didn't they already start talking about sending shit to Jupiter to skim no, not Jupiter, one of Jupiter's moons to skim the geysers.
Yeah,
that shoot out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Jupiter's fairly close to the edge of our galaxy. Well, not galaxy, our little solar system. Why can't we just push past that?
It's not that we can't. I mean, we've already developed systems that would allow us to move quickly. The problem is that it's really far away. Like 12 light years is how long it takes light to get there. 12 years of the speed of light. Mm-hmm. We can't even get a tenth of that speed.
Dude, if I could sign up to be put on the mission to go and colonize outer space and never have to come back here ever again, I'm sorry, show, but I'm gone.
I think a lot of people don't be.
I would love to go out in space. One of my favorite books, reading growing up and reading as a kid, was Tunnel Through the Sky by Robert Heinlein.
I've never heard of it.
Tunnel in the Sky. It's about a group of people who are essentially walking through a Stargate so that they can go and explore, but they have to take a test to explore. They go through the Stargate, and a solar flare happens on the other side, and they can't get back through the Stargate.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, until we can travel, like, I mean, we could, theoretically, if we can actually get cryogenics down, send people to these places. It would just take, like, 200 years for them to get there.
We can still technically send people to those places. However, by the time they get there, it would be a huge rash of inbreeding among their children's children.
Well, that's assuming that you had them awake to get there.
Right.
Well, and, like, every time I think of, like, sending people a long way in, like, a slow form of transport, because, you know, we don't have hyperdrive, we can't fold space, we can't do all the things to allow us to travel extremely quickly, yet. The thing I always think about was that, okay, we're going to pile you guys all on this colony ship, and we're going to launch you on this ship, and it's going to take you 600 years to get there, because everything we have is slow, right?
Mm-hmm. It'd be like Deep Space Nine.
I can never help imagining, like, okay, go on your 600-year journey. Have fun. Good luck. We'll never hear from you again. But then, like, 450 years into that journey, we discover a way to do warp drives or fold space. So by the time...
Have you read Ender's Game?
No.
Okay.
So by the time they get there, we've already been there for, like, 150 years, and we're just like, welcome! We figured out how to get here real quick.
That almost kind of happened in Ender's Game.
Sure.
They were fighting the Formics, the bug people, and they had sent out an assload of ships early on to go to their home planet to fuck it up and everything. And Ender was forced to play these games so that he can become a better... no, I cannot fix the picture on the wall. So that he can be a better commander. But what he didn't realize is they weren't actually games. He was actually using the people in those ships.
I know the plot twist.
And as he keeps going, they get older and older. And I felt like that was similar to what you were just discussing.
Sure. Either way, science, space, exploration. Let's do it.
Yeah, I want to go.
Nathan's like, sign me up.
Yeah, get me out the fuck out of here.
You'd have to learn Russian.
Ni problema. Я понимаю очень маленький, я понимаю чуть-чуть русский язык.
You already know a little bit. Good job. 8. Groundbreaking cervical cancer vaccine may almost eliminate the disease.
This was submitted by Chains for Alice to R News.
So, and this isn't like a breakthrough or anything like this. This is just further development on what we have already been doing. So you've heard of Gardasil, right? The Gardasil shot that they, administer to people to help prevent cervical cancer. Well, Gardasil 9 has just been developed, and it goes from a 77% effective rate to a 97% effective rate.
Damn! That's a fucking 20% increase.
Which is 93%. I'm sorry. So it's a 16% increase, but 93% is still awesome.
Yeah, that's the success rate of condoms, isn't it?
93%? I don't know. I don't know what the actual success rate is for condoms.
Never mind. It's 98%. Just kidding. Shut up.
Sure. Okay. Either way, I mean, further development of vaccinations of things that are terrible and awful. Yeah, sure. Awesome.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. 98% success rate if they're stored properly. Most people don't store them properly because they shove a condom in their wallet, and that's a bad idea.
And it gets all like rubbed together.
Mm-hmm. And then pops easier.
Yeah, don't do that.
Can confirm.
Oh yeah, can confirm.
I've had to purchase a couple Plan Bs for people.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So either way, they're hoping that the vaccine will be available sometime in the next couple of years. They do have a couple, they have to finish getting it, approved and all that good stuff. But assuming it's approved, it'll drastically help reduce the cases of cervical cancer around wherever this vaccine is given to. Which, I mean, awesome. I mean, every development of getting rid of something is awesome, right?
How deadly is cervical cancer? I'm just curious because I know like testicular cancer isn't actually very deadly.
It's just terrible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely god awful.
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe Tim knows. Hey Tim in the chat, do you know how deadly it is?
I mean, he might know. I mean, he's medical professional extraordinaire.
That's why I was asking.
It's like the audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if he's been commenting for a while.
Yeah, especially when it comes to medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He might know some of that medical mumbo jumbo stuff.
Yeah.
It won't let me change the little title card. There we go. All right, moving along now.
7.
Agencies advise on possible Lizard Man and Bigfoot sightings in South Carolina during eclipse.
This was submitted by Lemon Meringue to R Not the Onion. Dude, I used to be so fucking into cryptozoology.
So when they say agencies, this is quite literally the South Carolina Emergency Management Division.
What?
The state is issuing these notices.
What?
About possible Lizard Man and Bigfoot sightings.
It's like if the New Jersey state issued problems with the Jersey Devil and the Mothman.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. This is so good. Oh, dude, don't we have cryptozoological monsters up here?
We do?
Yeah, there's the Lake Iliamna monster.
Lake Iliamna monster?
Yeah, there's a Iliamna Lake monster.
Oh wow,
they refer to it as Illy.
Straight up popped up real fast.
Mm-hmm. And it has gained enough attention through Animal Planet.
Okay.
I really love cryptozoology. The shit was cool. I used to listen to Coast to Coast AM with George Newry. Shit was awesome. It was one of my first talk shows. I absolutely loved it.
They believe it's just a very large, strangely formed white sturgeon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was super into like the chupacabra and the thunderbird. There's like a Philippine vampire that only had from the waist up. I can't remember it. My favorite though is Mokolele Mbembe.
What's that?
I think I spelled it correctly. It's it was a legendary water-dwelling creature in the Congo River Basin, and it's been described as looking like a giant brontosaurus. So you're essentially walking through the fucking Congo River Basin, and suddenly a fucking brontosaurus out of nowhere. But I loved it because of the name. It's Mokele Mbembe. I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but Shit was awesome. I fucking loved all of this.
Okay. Well, during the day...
And then Kirk said apparently we have a few. It's not just Illy.
Well, be aware of possible lizard men and Bigfoot on the day of the eclipse.
And if you're up here for all of our Alaska visitors, because, we get tourist season during the summer, careful of Lake Iliamna. There might be a giant... Apparently, they think it's a giant white sturgeon, but be careful, there might be a monster in there.
People actually go out to Lake Iliamna.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Be careful.
6.
Scaramucci going to Stephen Colbert's show Monday.
Will you do the Fandango?
Sure.
Submitted by Bang Munja to Our Politics.
Scaramouche. Anywho.
Will you do the Fandango?
The fired White House
Thunderbolt and lightning.
Very, very frightening me. Fired White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci is set to appear on CBS's Late Show on Monday. Stephen Colbert announced on Wednesday. We didn't talk much about it because I was on vacation in Vegas, but they hired this new guy as the White House Communications Director, and he just went off. Like, he was accusing everyone of leaking information out of the White House, was throwing a lot of threats and slander around, straight up went on to a friggin' interview and basically told one of the other White House officials to go fuck themselves.
Jesus Christ.
And was
Wait, that was Reince, right?
Yeah.
Reince Priebus, I think his name was.
And so he was let go. And
was it like 10 days into working?
Yeah, 10 days exactly, actually.
There's even reports that his paperwork hadn't even been officiated yet.
I believe it.
So he might have actually not actually technically had the job fully yet.
Maybe. Either who. He has been maintaining a pretty low profile since getting fired, including canceling several news conferences and interviews that he already had scheduled. But he is apparently going to appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which is either a genius idea or a terrible one.
I'm super excited because it's Stephen fucking Colbert.
Well, like, Stephen Colbert rips people like him apart on his show regularly. So
yeah, he does. Colbert don't give a fuck anymore.
Well, is Scaramucci going to go on and, like, help him tear people apart?
I hope so.
Like, I'm just, like, part of me expects, like, a real official meeting and him being all...
This is gonna be a giant fucking roast.
Well, like, part of me pictures him, like, showing up and being all hoity-toity and trying to be all, like, official. But the other part of me is, like, him, like, sitting down and, like, leaning real casually on Colbert's desk and be like, yeah, let me tell you the shit I found out while I was in the White House. You want to know who's fucking full of it that has their heads so far up their ass? Like... It's one or the other. Can you imagine
after that him being dragged out fucking goddamn V for Vendetta style?
Like, I can only imagine it's one of those two. It's either going to be immensely boring or it's going to be incredible.
I can't wait. I'm super fucking excited to watch this.
Kirk said he never officially started. He was set to start on the 21st.
Yeah, I know. I tagged it. Or I pinned it.
So, yeah. Fun times. I am very curious to see what comes of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, this is...
5.
Scientists put malware in DNA for the first time.
This is submitted by Mavia to Our Futurology.
Because why not, right? I mean, we talked about how they can put data in your DNA. They can, embed a GIF into blood cells. So what's the next logical step? Viruses.
All right, so it legitimately makes me terrified.
Why?
Mostly because of spies. Can you imagine, right? Someone having some kind of machine into their body that maybe comes out like their fingertip or something, a little bit of a wire or something that you can plug into a computer, like through the fucking ports that you put your phones on. I can't remember the name of them. Mini USBs.
Sure, okay.
You can plug it into a computer, and as long as you're holding it there, you can download whatever you want onto your DNA.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility one day. But, yeah.
It kind of scares me, but at the same time, it's kind of cool.
I think we'd have to get down to some serious advances in nanotechnology. I mean, because they're really exploring storing large amounts of data, including like video and stuff on DNA at this point. Mm-hmm. And this is just, another step of putting malware on it, which currently they say that it would only be able to affect a machine that is trying to read the data on the DNA.
So just don't don't let it read your data.
I guess so, but I mean, it's just
That
one.
just makes me worry that people are going to start putting all of their data in their like arms and shit, and people are just going to fucking hack off their arms and leave.
Yeah, I mean that might be a possibility. Who knows, man? The world's getting weird.
Dude, biological computers is fucking weird as shit. Can you imagine walking around with a squirrel? Just plug it into somewhere.
Tim said that malware and DNA is an old thing. We study dangerous bacteria that are genetically modified to stop replicating if they... No. This isn't like malware against other cells or bacteria or viruses. This is literally malware like the virus that infects your computer. Like,
oh man, only some of my comments are loading.
This is a series of ones and zeros that if a computer were to read it would infect itself with a virus because of the sequence. This is a technological virus instead of a biological one, I guess.
Yeah, it's a technovirus stored on a biosource.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. So, fun times.
Mm-hmm. And Kirk asks, how would you delete your history?
I don't know. Just punch your arm a few times.
Just fucking torch your fucking arm.
Tim wants to know, but specifically how. Science. I would just advise Googling data.
I really wish my comments would load.
Data in DNA. Just try reloading the page. Data in DNA to learn more about how they do it. But like, I can transfer the knowledge of what's happening, but the actual details of how. Brr. Like we talked about quantum entanglement like 3 weeks ago, and I can explain what's happening, but in terms of how, no idea. It's literally just it happens.
I don't know why, but it does.
Yeah, science. That's why.
Weird science. Fucking love Oingo Boingo.
4.
Newcastle sex ring. People care more about being called racist than preventing child abuse, says Rotherham's Labour MP.
This was submitted by Edu Ba to Our World News.
This article is awful.
Is it ass?
I'm going to start with that.
Straight up ass.
This article is awful.
Nothing but booty.
Well, okay, not booty. Okay, so
so booty is nice.
The article starts out talking about how recent work by protection officials have led to the capture of a very dangerous sex ring that had a large amount of involvement with child abuse. Now, the Rotherham Labour Member of Parliament is now taking that further of like wanting to address the issue here, because apparently of the 18 men that were convicted, 17 of them were Asian.
Huh, okay.
And she wants to know why they are not researching the continued pattern of specific races of people being the culprits in specific types of instances.
I guess it would come down to how they're raised, wouldn't it? Because different races have different cultures, and different cultures, different things are acceptable or not.
Sure. But she's coming out and saying, like, no one wants to address that issue. No one wants to question why was it 17 Asian men that were involved in this sex ring. Because if you do make that claim that there is something going along those orders, you would be called racist. Instead of, and it's like, if you do make a false claim, then you're really going to be called racist because it's a form of stereotyping. But in my opinion, and this is purely my opinion, it doesn't matter if they're who they are, essentially. It matters what they are and how to stop them in the future.
Sure, yeah. But it also comes down to how people are being raised, too.
Well, sure, but it's not a race thing. It's just a these are shitty people thing. Whereas she believes that there's a pattern in the color of their skin that leads to these actions.
Okay. Maybe not the pattern of in the color of their skin, but there's definitely a pattern in the way they're being raised. That comes down to a cultural thing.
Sure.
Maybe it's not them themselves based off of the color of their skin, but it's the way their people live. Or, even if it's illegal in their culture, they might still have a long history of it. Maybe.
And I mean, like, if there is some indication, like, let's say all of these people came from the same town, then, that gives a level of precedence of how it got to that point, of why they were all working together. But otherwise, I don't think it matters if they're American, European, Asian, Korean.
Okay, so a lot of transplants will try and find people from the same country or similar, closer countries because they're more familiar with it. So if one or two transplants get this idea in their head that it's a good idea to do this, and they keep reinforcing it, that's how you get people, ISIS supporters, in 3 or 4 people in a group instead of just one in the same area, working in the same areas.
Sure. And
because, I mean, people want to be with people that are like them.
Sure, yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's why like things like Chinatown exists.
Yeah, I mean, echo chambers, cult mentality, etc.
They want to preserve their culture, and maybe this form of rape and kidnapping is not very prevalent in their culture, but it could be in their culture. Just like how white people have a huge history of going to other people's lands and killing and raping them.
Yeah, we're pretty bad about that.
We're really bad about that. We did it with the Native Americans. All of the fucking Vikings, for instance.
Sure. Well, and like the other thing is like there are extremists in every culture. There are fucked up people from every corner of the globe. There is not a place on earth, not Sweden, not Canada, nowhere, that they are free from fucking psychopathic people. Like
it's almost human nature, really.
Like I feel like it's a human defect more than I don't want to necessarily call it nature. I don't want to say it's an innate thing that we do. I feel like it's a mistake of our design. But in any case, like I don't feel like we've evolved to have an ego about how humans are. Sure.
People don't view themselves as animals anymore. They view themselves separate from animals. So, in a way, people feel like it's all right to do fucked up shit to animals or other people because they feel like they're superior to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because they aren't animals. But let's be fucking real. Everybody is an animal.
Oh, you're a fucking animal, Nathan.
Damn right I'm a goddamn animal. I'm a beast.
Beast?
Zveri.
Is that Russian?
It's Russian for wild beasts.
Oh, okay.
It's also actually a Russian pop-punk band. Pretty decent.
Did that Russian superhero movie ever come out?
I don't know if it did. I want to say it did.
Because I still want to
I want to see Bearhead.
3.
In a new poll, half of Republicans say they would support postponing the 2020 election if Trump proposed it.
This was submitted by Hello, my name is Star Politics.
So there has been first off, I'm just going to say for the record real quick, I fucking hate talking about the 2020 election. It is only mid-2017. There are so many things we need to be concerned about.
It's a little past mid-2017.
Whatever. It is still mid to late 2017. There are still so many things we should be concerned with today that are not involved with 2020. So, with that said, moving forward. So, the first thing is that this is not Republican members of Congress. This is public Republicans. And what this is, they conducted a poll, and because there was the several claims coming out of the Trump administration that Trump would have won the popular vote if there had not been 3 to 5 million illegal people that voted in 2016. Now, they are conducting an investigation into the number of dead people, illegal voters, or people that were registered in more than one place and possibly voted twice, which is good. Like, I mean, I understand that they're doing it for petty reasons, but that's a good investigation to do anyway. Now, they are saying that because there has been the rumor being passed around that because of this investigation and that they believe that the election is fraudulent and screwed, not necessarily completely fraudulent, but there are fraudulent votes, that it could lead to a mishap in the 2020 presidential election. And the president does have the option to put forth the notion of postponing the election under certain circumstances. And they polled a lot of members of the public. They polled them. And the poll of the people that said they were either very heavily leaning or, diehard Republicans, of those ones that answered that way, they were asked if the president suggested postponing the 2020 election for the purpose of, what was the actual question? If Donald Trump were to say that the 2020 election should be postponed until the country can make sure that only eligible American citizens can vote, would you support or oppose postponing the election? So half of the Republicans polled said yes. Well, 47% said yes.
I do not feel like postponing the election is a very smart decision. That seems to me like a slippery slope into a tyrannical rule.
To answer the questions in the chat room of what is this poll, where is the source, this is from the Washington Post, which is a pretty reputable source. The survey interviewed a sample of 1,325 Americans from June 5th through June 20th. After they asked all the questions, they chose to focus on the 650 respondents who identify with or lean towards the Republican Party. It's because, I mean, it's they're the ones that are being questioned. How many people of the Republican Party support the idea of postponing the election? Because, I mean, almost universally, the Democrats would say, fuck that, no.
Okay, so real quick, a lot of my chat fucking blew up because it finally goddamn loaded.
Okay.
Kendall said people have addressed the issue. They've come to the conclusion that already that race isn't the reason why. I can definitely believe that. Just people in general are fucked up. It doesn't matter what race you are. People are fucking just fucked. Now back to this thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
Oh, no, that's fine. As for where the poll was conducted, it doesn't say. It doesn't have a source of where this poll was conducted. I mean, and also, I mean, it might not have been in a specific place. This might have been a phone poll where they just called people across the country. So, I can agree with that, Kirk. Kirk says this feels like news for the sake of news. Yeah.
God, that's not even loading. God, why does everything suck here?
I don't know, because everything sucks horribly. But, I mean, it is a concern. Like, I am curious, has there been an instance in the past where there was the consideration of postponing an election?
At least in U.S. history. Because that's been a thing in other places, and that's slowly become the martial law, and then a tyrannical rule, and et cetera, et cetera.
I'm gonna just do a quick Google on it and see.
Because isn't that how Venezuela became what it is right now?
I don't know. I do not know. Can a federal election be postponed? It's all it's just giving me shit is regarding this article. I'm not finding anything immediately. Oh well, I'm over it. Shall we just move on and move past this topic?
Yep, continue.
Shall do. Let me get the little copy up so I can paste it onto the live feed so that I can read it and it all be in real time. Oh yeah.
2.
Kendrick Lamar thinks rappers with ghostwriters cannot be considered to be the best.
This was submitted by Hack the Planet to Our Music. That's pretty straightforward.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by the best, is the way that I get at it. So there's a lot of other things in here, but the headline is what we'll focus on. And the Compton rapper explained his stance on ghostwriting, and here's the quote. It depends on what arena you're putting yourself in. I called myself the best rapper. I cannot call myself the best rapper if I have a ghostwriter. If you're saying you're a different type of artist and you really don't care about the art form of being the best rapper, then so be it. Make great music, but the title, it won't be there. I mean, I guess it depends on by what criteria you are feeling someone is the best.
I feel like it comes down to the fact that not only are you able to deliver these hot lit fucking beats and everything, but you can also sit there and develop it yourself. You're essentially self-serving in the fact that you are making these songs.
And again, it's
that being said, there are tons of people who get ghostwriters that are way better than people who write their own stuff. But what he's trying to say is, if you write your stuff and you're good, you're the best.
Well, I guess it just depends on, because so here's where my brain went, right? Is that so the people that are amazing at freestyle that can just stand there and just fucking rap about anything off the cuff and it's got good rhythm and flow and it's that is an amazing rapper to me. But if you're talking about the difference between a recording artist rapper that writes his own songs or a recording artist rapper that has someone else write their songs, I don't know if it matters. You're still both just regular musical performers.
Right.
I feel like the ability to write your own stuff when it's not needing to be presented at that moment is the differentiating factor.
So you're saying people who can freestyle are technically the best?
whoever the best freestyler is, I would probably give them the best rapper. But like the best rap performer would probably go to, I don't friggin' know.
Right. No. It's an interesting thing trying to categorize these things because it's all based off of how you feel.
Yeah, I mean,
music provokes emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only good based off of what you think why you think it's good.
Oh man, speaking of music and what you think is good and a lot of emotion. So Jennifer has qualified her way into essentially the state championship for karaoke.
Yeah.
Because she's, great at singing. And so she's trying to figure out what song to sing, because you only sing one at the finals. And she's like, I don't know what song to sing. So we are like looking through like karaoke lists and
operas, right?
Well, and then she was like, well, let's just watch a bunch of random like music auditions. And the best, it's always like, America's Got Talent, friggin' American Idol, X Factor. But we really like The Voice. The Voice, we don't watch any of them, but we really like the blind auditions on The Voice, right? And holy God, people are amazing, and they should all like be making music because some of them are incredible. But I will admit that there was a few moments that I just like broke down and cried. One, because there's a couple songs that just like punch me in the heart really bad, and the other one I just immediately started crying because one of the auditions they showed was Christina Grimmie's audition.
Is who?
Christina Grimmie. She's the Voice winner that got shot last year.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
We talked about it on the show.
Yeah, but I forget a lot of the shit that we talk about on the show.
That's fair.
We talk about a lot of shit on the show.
Yeah, minimum of roughly 10 things a day. Anyway.
Generally, roughly 10 things a day.
Some,
not a minimum.
Yeah. Some days it is less than 10, but that's like maybe once every 2 months.
Sure.
1.
Walmart apologizes for sign marketing guns as back-to-school items.
This is submitted by the Latin Alchemist to our news. Ooh, this is spicy.
So, above the spinning gun cabinet that is located in the majority of Walmarts, there was a sign posted that said, "Own the school like a hero."
Woo!
Woo is right.
All right, I'm going to have to channel my inner Ric Flair for a second, guys. Woo!
Yeah. I laughed real hard when I saw this. Not even ashamed of that in any way. But Walmart has since taken to social media apologizing for the posting, and they are working on trying to figure out which Walmart it was because that was not an approved location for that sign.
No, it is not. Holy fuck, the insensitivity here, but it's goddamn hilarious. I shouldn't be laughing at it, but...
No, it's okay.
No, it's really not.
I don't know, Kirk. Kirk asked if this is their worst PR mistake. I have no idea. It's pretty bad, though. But, I mean, also at the same time, I don't feel like Walmart can really have bad PR because they're fucking Walmart. Like, unless they're literally, like, chaining their employees up in the back of the store as part of, like, I don't know, the hiring process. I don't see...
Initiation.
Yeah, sure. Like, what is Walmart gonna... What's Walmart gonna lose? Like, people will always shop at Walmart because it's fucking Walmart. Like,
it's cheap as fuck.
Like, nobody really likes Walmart. We all shop at Walmart either because you don't have another option, you're broke as shit, or they're the only place open.
Yeah, I mean, there's been often... In fact, here, I'm going to tell you guys a story about Walmart. Me and my friends, every couple days or so, we would do something called a bro run.
Sure.
We would all pile into one of their cars, and we'd all drive out across town to the Diamond Walmart, and we'd sit there and buy like dollar giant 2 liters because they were fucking dollar, and we were all poor high school kids.
Sure.
But we'd fucking go to Walmart at like 1, 2 in the morning for no fucking reason.
Well, that's like where
besides the fact that it was open.
Well, that's like where I grew up in Enid, Oklahoma, where there's literally fucking nothing. A good amount of the time, we'd be walking around Walmart because there's nothing else to do at 12:30.
I mean, shit, it's almost like a fucking mall where all the stores are in one anyways.
Yeah, basically. And then
that's essentially what a department store is.
And then your broke ass walks up and down the aisles debating on if you actually want to steal something and what you'd want to steal.
Fucking Matt used to steal 5-hour energies. He would walk out with like 4 of them in each sleeve.
Good job, guy. Wait, not good job. Whatever.
The last time I went to Walmart, I had my card declined for $1.11.
Oh, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Did that give you the feel bads?
No, it made me feel like every other person in Walmart.
Oh, that's fair. Hey, Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
What did you care about in the last 24 hours?
Motherfucking Overwatch?
Really? Why?
Yeah, because they have an update. They have deathmatch now in arcade mode.
Is it
But not just deathmatch. They have team deathmatch as well.
That is legitimately one of the best things I've heard about that game since
In
it came
addition,
out. Is there more?
Four heroes got buffs.
Okay.
Junkrat,
Sure.
he can now have 2 concussive mines instead of 1.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
And his movement speed has been increased. His Ripped Tire's movement speed has been increased by 30%.
Sure.
And he's no longer a time limit when it's wall climbing.
Fun.
Orisa got buffed. Her fusion driver projectile speed is increased by 20%, and her protective barrier size has been increased by 20%. In addition to a change of shape to allow more coverage from enemies that are below the barrier.
Most people don't know what you're talking about, but
That's fine. I'm just doing this for people who do.
Okay.
Roadhog, his healing thing, his take a breath, can now be used while moving, and in addition, the damage taken while healing has been reduced by 50%.
oh, that's really
So
gross.
it makes him feel more like an actual tank.
Sure. And what's the last one?
Widowmaker.
Which is?
Grappling hook cooldown has been reduced from 12 seconds to 8 seconds.
Cool.
And her Venom Mine, the affected targets are now visible through walls, but only to Widowmaker.
Neat. That's pretty cool, though. Fun. I will probably play more Overwatch now that there is Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch.
I will definitely be playing it a bit more. I don't know if I'm going to be playing it more than Depth right now, but that's just because Depth is my new toy.
That's fair. On my end, the thing that I cared about in the last 24 hours is that I have ordered a new computer. I have bitten the pillow, and there's no other way to describe it. And that I have
Pillow going in raw.
I have ordered a brand new computer because, as we have addressed in the past, this one has issues with everything we were wanting to do. Funny story, right? So the problem that we always have of like why it lags and stuff like that is because of my processor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was like, okay, I don't feel like I have that bad of a processor, though. And I was like, whatever. And I realized that in order to get a new processor, I need a new motherboard. But if I got a new motherboard and processor, I'd need a new RAM. And those increased things would mean I need a new power supply. So basically, I just needed a whole new computer. And the thing that I was like, okay, the thing that I cared about most, because the thing that's struggling the most right now is my processor. So I was like, okay, what do I need? And after I did a bit of research, they're like, well, you need a processor that's really good at multitasking, because I'm wanting to record audio, record video, stream video, accept your video from Skype, run a live feed. It's like that requires the processor to think about a lot of different things. It's not like a video game where it's just thinking about the game. It's thinking about these different processes. And I was like, okay, which processors have multitasking? And it's like for Intel processors, so like i3s, i5s, i7s, i9s, what it's called is called hyperthreading, and it's just a special name for says that this core can act as though it's 2 cores, which makes it really good at multitasking, right? Mm-hmm. And Tony was helping me do this research when we were trying to figure out which computer to order, and he's like, okay, well, let's find out which Intel processors have hyperthreading. Guess which ones have hyperthreading? Literally all of them, except the one I have.
Wow.
Yep. Literally all of them except for the one that's in my computer.
How much are you going to sell your computer for?
What we are currently talking about is that I am going to use my new computer. This computer will become Jennifer's, and then Jennifer's computer will be used for access for the kiddo.
Oh, makes sense.
Because, like, she's been wanting to, like, play Overwatch and Tales of Berseria. Like, I mean, we play most of our video games on the computer, so it is understandable that she wants to play video games on the computer.
Right, PC Master Race.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, because of how much work I do on my computer and how much work she does on her computer, neither of us were really comfortable with it because, I mean, 7-year-old.
Yep.
So we were like, instead, if she has her own computer, it's not a problem. It also makes it a lot easier to set, like, parental controls and stuff like that if it's all on one.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So that's the current plan. The computer's already been ordered. I ordered it through Power something? cyberpowerpc.com. And what I'm really excited about is it comes plug and play out of the box. They put it.
Oh, nice. You don't even have to set it up or install shit inside of it?
Nope, they put it together, and literally it gets here, I open the box, set it down, and plug it in.
That's amazing.
I'm excited because I hate putting together computers.
I understand.
I would also like to give a thank you to all of our Patreon supporters because you are way helping pay for that because it is a rather expensive computer. And so thank you very much to everyone that is supporting us on Patreon. You are literally helping this show because with a new computer, we won't have the feed issues. We also hope to put the feed in more places. So if you're listening to this right now and you're not watching the live feed because maybe you don't like Facebook or something like that, if possible, I'm not sure if XSplit Broadcaster is able to do it, but I want to push the feed onto Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all at the same time would be the goal.
Yeah.
If that's possible, sick. If not,
that would be great. Hopefully all of those chats actually load properly.
we'll find out. Otherwise, though, it is time for us to get ready to go. I'm going to go hunt some Pokemon with my kid and Josh. It's going to be a great time. But it is time for us to go ahead and close out the show. So everybody, if you would like to help support the show, we would greatly appreciate it. Our show's only 4 days a week right now, even though our tagline is a daily dose of the internet. We do have a plan to hit a daily dose.
Help us not be liars.
Help us not be liars. Patreon.com/daily internet. If you can spare $1 a month, $5 a month, if you can give up one latte every 30 days and send it our way, we would be most appreciative. It doesn't go to our pockets. It goes to the pockets that pay for the show to happen. Because we have hosting fees, we have website fees, we have program fees because we have to pay for like the streaming software, the recording software. It also pays for equipment like this microphone that's sitting in front of me, a microphone that'll one day be sitting in front of Nathan, my new computer, Nathan's new computer.
I've got a microphone, it's just not like high-end top of the line microphone.
We're going to fix that one day.
Sure.
But my new computer is being purchased. A very large part of it, about 33% of it, is going to be paid with Patreon. A good bit of Nathan's new computer, which we'll probably be looking at getting next year, is going to be paid pretty heavily with Patreon. So
unless we get, it might not be next year if we get a giant influx of Patreon donations.
That'd be pretty sick. Patreon.com/daily internet. Otherwise, everybody, just follow the show on social media: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All of those are at iReaditCast. If you want to follow me, I'm at Sean Michael on almost all of those.
More so than follow it, share it too.
Yeah, that's a good, easy, fast way to help the show is just by sharing it on social media.
It's like two buttons. You hit share in the corner, and then you hit share when it pops up.
And just let people know that you like the show, and maybe they might like it too. If you don't, that's fine. I understand. People try and burden their friends with enough shit on Facebook. I totally get it. Otherwise, though, if you have a story that you would like...
we're as good as memes.
If there's a story that you'd like us to address, send it to us via email or just send us your thoughts on the show. Feedback.ireddit@gmail.com, or you can call and leave us a voicemail at 508-738-2278. That is it, everybody. We will be back on Monday, both regular recording and live on Facebook.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was Tuesday. Holy shit.
Did you really?
Yeah, I woke up today and the entire day thought it was Tuesday.
Dude, tomorrow's Friday. Congratulations.
I'm so happy.
That is your 331st dose of the internet, everybody. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody.
Don't get edited!
Have a good day, everyone.